A lot of our mothers and fathers who grew up in the hood, who grew up under the harsh cultural conditions that we were subjected to by the government. A lot of our parents were hustlers, were grinders, were doing the best they could with what they had at the time, which wasn't much, right? We got to be in a space to forgive them because imagine whatever mental space you're in right now, whatever spiritual space that you're in right now, imagine being in that space with less resources. I hate to think, although I know it's very possible because we've experienced people like what I'm about to mention in our lifetime. I hate to think that majority or most or even a lot of black families want don't want what's best for their kids. I was trying to get the right words. I hate to think that. I hate to think that they don't want their kids to strive, to survive, to do better than them. Although I know it's very possible because we all know people or know of people who are horrible fucking parents, just altogether horrible. But this message is not about the horrible parents. This message is about us who became um, either minimal successful or moderately successful products of our environments, of our parents wanting more, wanting better, and trying to do the best they can with the minimal resources that they had. These messages that I'm about to say is for us. Be in a space to not hold grudges against your parents for not parenting to your standards. Because as sure as we know, I'm just snatching names out of the air. Sure as we know cousin Ray Ray is a little off mentally, it's quite possible that that little mental offness runs in her family. And that people were subjected to circumstances that they were holding on as best they could. And they really tried to love you. They did the best they could with loving you and with raising you, but there was an imbalance between assistance, between mental health, because remember, it wasn't until recently, I'm talking about in the recent years, it wasn't until recently that the government, the system, more people began to be aware of mental health. In the black community, and I'm only speaking for the black community because that's where I was born and raised at, that's who I am. I don't know nothing about no other fucking communities. But in the black community, it was considered like a curse. No one really dealt with it. So it was brushed off. It was, feed him, bathe him, he'll be all right. It was one of those type of things that we didn't even know how to deal with. We didn't have the resources to deal with it. Depression, anger, stress. These are a lot of things that we have better resources. I ain't gonna say they top tier, but it's better resources to handle now that wasn't provided to our people back then. So I'm asking on behalf of the culture, I'm asking on behalf of myself, and I'm asking on behalf of those who are really trying to heal themselves to get past a certain space in their life so that they can continue on their healing journey, healing other areas in their life to get to be a better person. I'm just simply asking that unless, because physical abuse and sexual abuse is out of my league right now, is not in my category, only because I am not professionally equipped with the man-made degree to be able to speak on those topics. And so maybe what I'm telling you may not be enough. So I'm going to exclude those because to me, those are like red alerts, you know. If we going on an alert scale, there's yellow, there's orange, and then there's red. So physical abuse and sexual abuse to me is high level red alert. And I just want to say that don't try to dissect if what happened why your parents wasn't parenting the way you felt like you should. Let go of the time where you may or may not have been directly affected by their frustration towards something else. They did not know how to cope with certain things the same way that you may not know how to cope with certain things. And all I'm saying is that if it wasn't sexual abuse or it wasn't physical abuse, please forgive them and try to move into a different space. And even if you're held on by that, if you're carrying hurt, if you're carrying resentment, if you're any type of begrudging spirit because you clearly remember certain things where they had a favorite sibling or um, I don't know, they uh, made it clear that you know you I don't know. I can't even really think clearly enough because I'm just trying to make a point. So I really can't think clearly enough to name any excuses or maybe any reasons that you would be holding or grudging or holding that negative space. But that's the point that I want to make. So forgive me if I'm not being um as maybe resourceful with ideas, or maybe I can't relate to certain things and I can't speak on certain things, but I'm asking you on behalf of the culture, on behalf of your healing process, and on behalf of just trying to heal better and get better and be better as a person and close out certain chapters so that you can move forward. I am humbly asking that you forgive so that you can move forward. Stop allowing negative people or experiences that probably had a effect on you, but don't allow those experiences to now come forward with you into who you are becoming. Because as disappointed as you was at that time, as hurt as you was at that time, don't carry that negative energy into the now, because you are not that person anymore. You should decipher whatever lesson, if it was a lesson for you to learn, decipher it, learn it, carry it with you if you need to. The lesson, but not the pain, not the negative energy, not the negative space. Don't hold space and negativity for that shit. Because as quiet as it's kept, which it shouldn't be kept quiet, but maybe, you are your parents' legacy. You are a flower blooming, and when you reach your full vegetative state, when you turn into a full blown rose or chameleon or daffodil or carnation, tree, whatever fruit you're bearing, whatever it is that you're aspiring to become in your greatness of who you are, that is the legacy of all those that came before you. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And I'm saying that to say, They didn't know. They didn't know. Even those of us who had spiritual gifts, our parents and grandparents, probably, I'm not really sure, because again, I'm talking for black culture. A lot of times, you were cast as if something was wrong with you. Nobody wanted to address it. Nobody was able to assist you or help you understand those gifts, whatever those gifts may be. Whether you have a certain talent for certain things, or whether you have a high spiritual connection to where though you may see things beyond the normal human eye, your vibes might be high from young. So you already to discern a certain energy when you're young. Our parents really didn't have the knowledge, the wisdom, or the understanding on how to be able to help us ascend or elevate. So I want you to take that space if you can, and I want you to work on healing it so you can close that chapter of your life. Because them doing the best they can with minimal resources was like snatching ideas out of the sky, literally. Yes, they had common sense, but even a common sense was tested during a time because everything that they did believe was the right thing to do was always contested, was always debatable, was always questionable to them. So they had minimal resources, and I'm talking about all the way across the board. So now that you're in a space to know better, it is coming upon you to do better. One of the ways that you could do better is to forgive them. Learn the lesson from that space. The lesson may be vital and you may need to carry the lesson with you, because if you don't learn the lesson, you will revisit the lesson. Another time dimension, another space, another opportunity, another circumstance, but the lesson will be the same. So sometimes we may have to take the lesson with us, but not the pain, okay? Not the pain. And in healing and in doing, you're healing generations before you. Now you are breaking generational curses, baby. Because a lot of our parents and grandparents and great grandparents, all the way back to our ancestors, a lot of them were healing, a lot of them were operating out of a space of survival. They did not have the chance to heal. There was no time ever presented to them so that they could heal. The only thing that they had to assist them getting through day to day was Christianity, which was given to them by none other than Massa. That's a whole nother topic. Let's not get debatable. Understand the point that I'm making. Don't let it go over your head. That was the only real coping mechanism that they had, was give it to Jesus. Give it to the Lord. That was the only real coping mechanism that they had. So, in a stand, get to that space and heal it, baby. Because you are their legacy, and when you heal it, you healing generations all before you, breaking the motherfucking curses. When you're able to move forward, I don't care how small a step is, you are breaking generational curses for all the ancestors that paid a debt for you, but not knowing how to move forward because they were stuck for reasons and circumstances that had nothing to do with you but still affect you. Heal that space, baby. You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Everyone that came before you are so excited, and I know that it's not easy. They are praying with you. They walk with you because you have been chosen to be the matriarch. You are the new matriarch of your lineage. You got aunts still alive and they doing them. Okay, that's fine. But who's to say that they are in the same elevated space that you're in? And being a matriarch does not mean that you got to take on everybody else's situations and try to help them solve their shit. Doesn't mean that. Being the matriarch means that in your family, in your lineage, in your bloodline right now, you are the ones that have been chosen to heal generations past. Don't take that pain with you, baby. That shit stops here, stops now. Okay? It won't be easy. But anything worth having is worth fighting for. Sorry. Think about this baby. Okay? You are fighting for you. You're fighting for your children. You're fighting for your peace of mind. And you're worth it. And your children are worth it. You are a walking legacy. Don't ever let society or anybody give you an understanding or give you a definition of what a legacy is. Oh, I want to leave a legacy for my children. I want to leave a business. I want to leave something material. I want to leave some type of high gain, for them. And it is nothing wrong with that. And if you have the means to be able to do that, then by all means, do that. But that's putting a cap, that's putting a ceiling on what a legacy is. Right now, you have the power to heal generations past. And when your children see that you're healing, aspiring to do better, to align yourself, to get in the best physical, emotional, spiritual, mental space that you can be in, they see that. They see that. They see that. They see that. And it will inspire them to do the same. See how you're breaking? That's just the first line of defense. How you're breaking the curses. Don't allow them to keep seeing motherfuckers mistreat you, people being disrespect to you. And when I say motherfuckers, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about any fucking body. Even if it is motherfucking family members. No. They don't need to see an example of how love is so tolerable that you're willing to accept anything. No, no, no. We're breaking curses over here. We're breaking curses. With that, I wish you continue healing, a lot of love, retrospect, prayer, whatever you need to get you to the next level of healing. I wish that for you. I want that for you, and I want it for me. Okay, so I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak, because when these messages come, I need to get it out. And it's not just for me, because I go back and sometimes I need to, be reminded. I just need to be reminded sometime when it get a little tough. Okay? Peace and blessings to you.